Hey, with my boy Captain Plan It. You can't live on a plan without a plan. Today we're learning about crypto, Bitcoin currency. We're learning about your law of averages, keeping up with your own averages, know what you're doing. Stay focused, tune in.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Capt Plan It. You can't live on a planet without a plan. And you know the name of the show is called the Law of Averages. And the Law of Averages states that you have to know the distance between where you are and where you want to be. And today our topic is what you should be doing when you get paid. That's if you get paid weekly, if you get paid bi-weekly, monthly, however which way you get paid, this is what you should be doing. Okay, we have today with us D, and we got my right-hand man, Marcy. They collected some information from one of their mentors. And what we're gonna do with that information is we're gonna structure that information, okay? Once again, I'm doing this for you guys, for my family, my friends, my associates, and my viewers. This is what you should be doing every time you get paid. So Marcy, how long is your friend planning on working?
Whole 20 years.
20 years? Okay. So his friend gets paid bi-weekly and he's planning on working 20 years. So let's put that into a structure. What do I mean by that? If you get paid bi-weekly, that means you get paid 26 checks a year. 26 checks a year. Okay, 26 times 20 is 520. So it's safe to say that we're gonna create the first category, we're gonna call it total checks. He's got 520 jump shots, all right? We clear on that? So we're gonna write total checks first. And we just figured out how many total checks it is. Because if you shoot for nothing, you hit nothing dead on the head. So you have to know the distance between where you are and where you wanna be. How many checks does he have already in his career?
326.
Okay, so he has 326 checks in. So if you minus 326 from 520, that equals what, D?
194.
So he has 194 checks left. Speak up. Okay? So this mentor of yours, he's heavy into investing, right? From what you told me. And how much does he have invested into the stock market currently right now?
$293,393.
Okay. So he has that in a combination of his 401k, his 457, and his outside investments. That's cool. How much cash does he have?
97,000.
Okay. So if you add 97,000 to 293,393, that equals a total amount of?
$390,393.
Okay, so now we broke down how much he has in the market versus how much he has cash. You add that together, that gives you a total number, and then you divide that number by how many checks you have in. So what does that look like? That looks like the total amount is 390,393. You divide that by 326, because that's how many checks he has in, and that equals what, Marcy?
$1,197.52.
Okay, that puts a perspective on things, because if you get caught up on the total amount of money that you have, which is the 393,000, you know, you can miss how long it took you and what your average is and who you are. Because sometimes people live above their means. Ooh, I like that phrase, above your means. What's the word mean in math?
That's the average.
Oh, okay. So you see how you have to take regular phrases and critically think about those phrases of what it really means. So that means you always have to know your average, right? You always have to know your average to not live above your
means.
Right. Okay. So because if you don't know your average, you're gonna live above your
means.
Right. Okay. So let's get back to the numbers. So what we did was we figured out our total checks, which was 520. We figured out how many checks we had in, which is 326. Right. We figured out how many checks we had left, which is 194. We added the total amount of investment plus cash, which is $390,393. We divided that by 326. That gave us an average of $1,197. So we know that your mentor is a $1,197 dude for the last 12 years and 5 months. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, let's move forward. What do we have here next? Okay, we have to know what his total goal is for his whole career. So what's your mentor's total goal?
Trying to have $1 million in the 20 years.
Okay, on a receipt, whether it's in the stock market or cash. Currently, he has $390,393. And if you minus that from $1 million, how short is he currently right now?
$609,607.
Okay, he's short that amount, and he has to achieve that amount in the next 194 checks. That's his goal. Okay, so now we move forward, and what is the average for the total goal? So if your mentor is saying that he wants $1 million, right? If he's saying he wants $1 million, you have to divide 1 million by 520, because that's how many jump shots or how many opportunities or how many checks he's gonna get in 20 years. Are we clear?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, so that average comes out to 1,924. Okay, so since we know that now, we can take the difference of what his current average is to what his average needs to be. So you have to know the difference between where you are and where you need to be. So currently your mentor is at 1,197, right? You have to minus that from 1,924, right? Because the goal is $1 million. 1,924 equals $1 million over 520 checks. You follow? He is $727 short. Are we clear?
Yeah.
So if you're $727 short on an average, can you do anything extracurricular that's not progressive towards getting towards your goal?
No.
You're not gonna get there. Correct. Okay? So now you have to figure out what's gonna happen if you keep doing the same thing. All right? So if your mentor's average is 1,197, right? You can multiply that times 520, and that equals $622,440. That is what he'll end up with if he keeps saving 1,197. Are we clear? Which is a shortage, right? And that shortage is a shortage of $377,560. Okay? So the moral of the story is what? The moral of the story is you have to know the difference between where you are and where you need to be. You have to update your finances every 2 weeks in this case. Okay, you cannot go to the barbershop and spend 15 minutes getting to the barbershop, half an hour in a chair, 15 minutes getting home. That's an hour on the outside of your head, and you didn't spend the time updating your finances to know the distance between where you are and where you need to be. We also learned that you needed to have a goal that you can see on paper structurally, okay? Because if you shoot for nothing, you hit nothing dead on the head every time. Then you have to notice the distance between where you are within your goal. You have to know how short you are, okay? So, since we know your mentor, his average is $1,197, right? The first thing he should do when he gets paid is do what? Save the $1,197. Then pay his bills, and then come back and save whatever's less, and then readjust that average number so you can know what you're shooting for. So documentation beats conversation. So last week I was told that his mentor was $1,193 due. Not last week, last check. Then the check prior to that, he was a $1,185 due. Then the check prior to that, he was a $1,183. So you have to maintain this documentation for your whole career so you can know what 2 weeks is worth to you in your life. Okay? So you got to put these things in concept. All right? Once again, my name is Capt Plan It. You can't live on a planet without a plan. And if you don't know your average, you don't know nothing. The name of the show is called The Law of Averages. And if you say you're going to do something and you ain't do the numbers, you're trying to fake yourself out. Like, that's why we got mirrors in here, because the mirror tell the truth. All right? Check out our next episode. How you like that?
Smooth, how you came in
I wanted to think out.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Capt Plan It. You can't live on a planet without a plan. And the name of the show is called The Law of Averages. And what we did today is each one teach one. I got my man D here, got my man Marcy here. Marcy, what you learned today?
I learned about my own average, keeping my own notes. I learned about Bitcoin. I learned about cryptocurrency. Staying focused on myself.
You think he a ball player, but I also told him if you shoot for nothing, you hit nothing dead on the head every time. What you learned today, D?
Learning about Bitcoin, learning that my averages wasn't what I thought it was. I actually started saving more money than I thought I was saving. Nowhere close to my goal.
Yeah, what he was doing was this right here. He was trying to fake himself out. You know what I mean? And we're not in the business of faking ourselves out. We're in the business of knowing what our average is and moving forward. Later.